City.
Thank you. On behalf of the Aquilini family, all of us at Canucks Sports and Entertainment, all of our players and the Canucks for Kids Fund, we want to thank all of you for your patience. We want to thank you for your support. We want to thank you for your loyalty. And most importantly, we want to thank you for being the best fans in professional sports. I am honored to welcome you to the 408th consecutive sellout for hockey here at Rogers Arena. It's the longest sellout streak in the National Hockey League. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you. Henrik?
Thanks, Mike. On behalf of my teammates, I just want to thank you for the patience and support you've shown throughout this process. We've all been waiting for this day for a long time, and we will do our best to make this a season to remember. Thank you.
Would you also please welcome Jeffrey Bell, a Canucks season ticket holder since 1988, who was the winner of a draw conducted earlier this week to participate in tonight's ceremonial puck drop. Would Ryan Getzlaff, captain of the Anaheim Ducks, please join Henrik, Mike, and Jeffrey at center ice. Once again, we would like to thank all of our community partners, sponsors, and you, Canuck fans, for your loyalty and support. Thank you, Henrik, Mike, and Jeffrey. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome members of the Sarah McLachlan School of Music to perform tonight's anthems. This school provides music education to underserved and at-risk youth at no cost, and is dedicated to helping young people build community and find their voice. And joining the group, their mentor. Please welcome Canadian singer-songwriter, winner of 2 Grammys and 4 Juno Awards, Sarah McLachlan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wrangling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all a son's command.
Well, Sarah McLaughlin makes it a wonderful start to the evening at Rogers Arena. A moment ago I mentioned the late scratch for the Ducks, Cam Fowler. We're told now it's the flu that's got him sidelined this evening. So the wait's over, and there's no time to waste in a 48-game schedule. Not exactly a must-win game tonight, but give us a few weeks and we'll be pulling that phrase out. To Rick Ball and Kelly Rudy in the broadcast booth.
Thank you, Scott. And starting goalies tonight, Jonas Hiller. He'll be starting a lot for the Anaheim Ducks. Club record 32 consecutive starts from January through March of last season. He is a workhorse for Anaheim and will be expected to play a lot again this season. At the other end, starter, the key word, Corey Schneider takes over as the #1 in Vancouver. Had a great year last season in relief of Roberto Luongo, but as we talked about earlier, it's a different animal when you're the guy, and he is. And we are underway in Vancouver 272 days after they played the last NHL game at Rogers Arena. Koivu out to center ice, flips the puck in. Garrison out there, the newcomer for the Canucks from the blue line, has control deep in his own zone. Henrik Sedin feeds it out the center. Burrows lost the puck at the line. Winnick takes it away. And there's Brian Allen, former Vancouver Canuck, on the back end for the Ducks, playing it ahead as he heads off. Winnick works it in. Cogliano's out front. Pass never got through. Shot goes off a stick wide as Boschman pulled the trigger. Here's Getzlaf. Ryan Getzlaf leaves the puck for Cogliano. Back to Getzlaf. Looks out front. Pass off skates. Intercepted by Lapierre. The Canucks will break out. Lapierre by himself as Burrows heads off. Now Higgins joins. Ludman in his own zone. Ahead for Perry. Misses the puck, but it clears to center. Ken Hamius dumps it back in. No preseason.
This is it, Rick.
This is the preseason. Not much time to get your sea legs back, though, in a shortened season. Every game that much more important. Canucks hold the line as Bieksa lost the puck. It's batted back out to center. Fired in by Hamius. Hiller can't stop him. Ducks controls, the Canucks change. Corey Perry at center ice with numbers. Works the puck and never last shot off the wing. Stopped by Schneider as he stones Palmieri with a blocker save. Puck winds up behind the net. Wrap around and Schneider makes the save.
This is good for Schneider, Rick, because he's had 2 saves in a row now, less than 2 minutes into it. I can tell you that his heartbeat's going to start going a little bit slower now.
There's Spiza from the point. Shot doesn't get through. You need those early stops to get settled down. Here's Zach Kassian down the wing trying to cut out front. He's cut off by Spiza. Kassian keeps the puck along the boards. Knocked down. And a penalty coming up. Canucks will get an early power play just past the 2-minute mark of the opening period.
Now it looks as though Tim Peel's going to call Spiza right here. I thought it was a pretty good play by Spiza, just out-muscling Kassian right here.
Anaheim, number 5, 2 minutes and 50.
Oh, I see it there. Yeah, He did. Yep, came up with the abbreviated slew foot to a certain degree, but that is what Spiza can do. He's a pretty strong guy, Rick. Plays physical game, and he can move the puck as well also.
So the Canucks' #1 power play with Yannick Hansen playing up front. David Booth, with a groin injury suffered the first day of training camp, is on the DL. There's Edler with a shot that's blocked in front. I think it went off the foot of Ludman. The puck's cleared down the ice.
Yeah, you know what? I think Vancouver early on, they should just start getting pucks to the net. You can't be fancy right now at the power play. It seems as though the passing is really off early on in this season, which is understandable considering they've only had 5 days to get ready.
Here they come. Hansen down the wing to Daniel. Henrik's on front, but the pass never got through. It was intercepted by Koivu, and he'll bring it out the center ice for Anaheim.
There was an example of that, wasn't it, Rick? Typically, Sedin makes that pass.
Knocking off a little early season rust here. Edler with that new contract gets the return pass deep. Looks out front. There's the pass. Henrik! And he's stopped by Hiller. May have gotten a shoulder on him. The puck goes out of play, but a good chance there for the captain of the Canucks.
You know, that's just so what the Canucks do well with the Sedin. Work it down low, get it into the slot. But, you know, that's one great thing about a tall goalie like Hiller, or Jonas Hiller. Yeah, you know what? That's not even making a save. That's just being in the right position, letting the body or the puck hit your body. We'll see a lot of that tonight.
Nice play by Edler on that last rush. Talked about his new deal. 6 years, $30 million. Signed yesterday. Here's Bieksa at the point. Minute 10 left in the power play. Hamuse back to Bieksa, poked away by Koivu, and he's had a good shift on the PK. Heads to the bench. Canucks regroup. Andrew Ebbett centering that second line with Ryan Kessler still recovering from 2 surgeries, shoulder and wrist in the offseason. Ebbett works it in. Here's Higgins. Cross-ice pass for Burrows off the boards. He'll set up. Hamuse now. Bieksa, one-timer, stopped by Hiller, and he's able to hang on.
I think the Canucks should get a little bit more traffic in front of Hiller on this play. Like I said, he's a big guy, takes up a lot of net, and typically from that shot, Bieksa backing up at the same time, he's going to make an easy save of that. And as we've seen with Hiller, he's very good at rebound control.
First unit back out for Vancouver. Henrik Sedin facing off against Getzlaf. Sedin, Hansen up front. Garrison and Edler man the points. Edler with the puck. Over to Garrison with the big shot, but he fired it wide. Daniel Sedin to Henrik. Garrison creeps down for the point, but the puck's batted out the center ice, and a good play by Ryan Getzlaf. Here's Daniel working it back in with help from Hansen, who goes to the net. Henrik in the high slot. The Hansen deflected wide. That had promise late in the power play. 15 seconds to go, and the penalty to Spiza. Nifty move by Dale Weiss off the wing with a shot put it wide. He set the Dutch League on fire when he was over there during the lockout, Kelly.
He better.
Wayne Gretzky in that.
You better not go over there and be lousy.
Power play over. Spiza back on the ice. Canucks 0 for 1. And we're still scoreless in Vancouver. Keith Ballard and Chris Tanev out there is the third pairing for the Canucks in the blue line. They play well together.
I think anybody play well at Tanev. He's just so calm and cool at the puck.
Big hit by Aaron Volpatti as he leans into Bonino in the front of the penalty box. Volpatti over the line. They go offside, and he takes a bump from Ludman. Aaron Volpatti changing his number. He switched to number 15 today, in fact.
Well, we're going to see the reason why the Canucks signed Jason Garrison to a contract. He's known for his big shot. You can just see the velocity on this. With all due respect to Bieksa, when he shot his previous shot, it had nothing like the velocity this does. And you can tell that, you know what, that's why he's had a lot of success. And I'm sure he'll have a great season here with Vancouver.
He is your textbook example of a late bloomer, Jason Garrison.
That's right.
Playing house bantam. Didn't start playing junior A until he was 19.
With the Nanaimo Clippers, the storied franchise of the BC Hockey League.
Shot in by Anaheim, goes off the boards and out of play. And we're talking to Garrison earlier today, and he was at the point where he was almost going to give up on hockey, but he went and played junior B. And then the wife of the Nanaimo Clippers coach, Bill Bestwick, saw him playing, told her husband, he brought him to Nanaimo, and here he is.
Yeah,
big contract and 16 goals last year in Florida.
And 9 of them on the power play, so you can expect that they're going to use them a lot. I like the fact that he didn't give up. There are a lot of kids out there that can take the moral of that story is that, you know what, sometimes we all develop at a little different age. Sometimes kids are great at 14, sometimes a little bit older.
Down the wing, here comes Bieksa with a shot. That goes off the glove of Hiller and out of play. The Canucks buzzing here. And we'll get a face-off to the left of the Anaheim goaltender. Jonas Hiller mentioned 32 consecutive games, Kelly, at 1 point last season.
Yeah, and very few practices in January and February. You can see, I think this might surprise a lot of people. He led the league with 4,253 minutes, leading the league. And I think the one thing about Hiller is he's the kind of guy that he loves to get out there, and if he doesn't practice, it doesn't matter. Some guys, I think, need a little bit more practice, and he's cool with just focusing without it.
Getzlaf wins the draw against Hansen. Puck cleared out to center ice. Anaheim used the pride of Smithers ahead to Yannick Hansen, tips it in, Hiller out of the goal, sweeps the puck to the corner. Sheldon Surrey controls, and what a good story his comeback is. Played in Dallas last year.
Absolutely.
After spending the year before in the AHL, following a dispute with the Edmonton Oilers. And there's a shot by Surrey that doesn't get through. Yannick Hansen takes control. Here's Higgins out the center. Up to Lapierre, hops away from him. Surrey goes to it. Icing called on the Canucks.
Well, Rick, I think this is pretty much what we expected. It's a game that's quite frantic, yet a little bit sloppy, but you can definitely tell that the guys are into it. I think a little bit of nervousness might be disappearing, though. It seems as though the first couple shifts, guys were a little afraid to try things, but I think starting to feel a little bit better.
42-year-old Teemu Selanne out on the faceoff for the Ducks. Bobby Ryan being watched closely by Bieksa. Played back to Boschman with the shot. Schneider saved. Big rebound corral by Hansen. He'll feed it out the center. Too far for Lapierre. Bonino to Selanne, and they go offside at the Vancouver line. So we're still waiting for a...
Well, one of the questions we had going into this contest was how Corey Schneider handled his nerves. Well, I think we have the answer here early on after just over 6 minutes. He's made a couple big saves, including that one off of Boschman. Now, I know a lot of people can make the argument that the Vancouver Canucks might be not in the best situation with two starting goalies like this, but when you look at the numbers, how can you argue with 51 wins last season between the two? You can make the case easily that it's the best tandem in the league right now.
Yeah, and Roberto Luongo's been the consummate pro through all of this, Kelly, but at some point, he's going to want to be the number one guy, and I don't know that it'll ever be a problem in the room, but it certainly could become one outside the room.
I would agree with that. You know, the great thing is at least they respect each other and they get along right now. They're roommates in this training camp.
There's Koivu working the puck in. Throws it on goal. Tip, they score! Tipped in by Winnick. And the Ducks draw first blood.
Well, you know what? This is what we expect a lot of. A very simple game. Koivu pulling up high, and then guys just going in the front end of the net. Schneider's in good position right here, but Winnick, a big, tall guy, uses size to his advantage. See a bit of a break right there. And then just throw the puck to the net. Winnick's in front, gets body position, makes a little bit of incidental contact with Schneider, which is okay. Schneider has to just sort of back off that. That's cool, no problem. And nice deflection, 1-0 by Winnick and the Ducks.
Daniel Winnick, who split last season between the Avs and San Jose, gets the first goal of this game. Koivu and Cogliano with the helpers. 6:31 mark, first period. Third line out there for Vancouver. First line for the Ducks. Here comes Getzlaf with Perry. Getzlaf works it in deep. Palmieri's out front. Pass never got through. Hendry, who was expected to be out tonight. A late addition with Cam Fowler suffering from the flu. Hendry's pass never got through. He's forced to retreat to his own line with the puck. Pressured by Hansen. Here's Brian Allen. He gets clobbered in the corner on a big hit by Volpatti. Canucks steal the puck. Ballard looking for a shot. Deflected just wide as Volpatti got a stick to it. Palmieri takes control, clears to an open wing at center ice.
Volpatti's been good in this game. That was a good shift after the goal. Just get out there and bang some bodies.
Tough season last year for Volpatti injury-wise. Here's Weiss off the wing, trying to pull the trigger. Had a stick lifted by Bolesky on a good play. Canucks keep it alive, though. Pass to Tanev by Malhotra, failed to connect. There's Ballard deep in his own zone. Volpatti works it out. Dale Weiss on the other wing this time. Long shot, easy save, but a big rebound by Hiller. Bounces free, and it's picked up by Raquel. Now Bolesky backhands it in. And the Ducks make wholesale changes. Canucks change up front. First Tanev calmly moves the puck to the neutral zone and fires it in. Past the 8-minute mark, first period. Zach Cassian with a shot whistled that wide off the far boards. Garrison plays it up front, deflected, nice stop by Hiller. Ebbett with the redirection on that play. Bobby Ryan able to clear. Solani gives chase, won't get there. Edler touches the puck for an icing call.
That was a very similar chance to how the Ducks scored the goal, just getting the puck to the net. As you said, Ebbett going to the front and making a terrific play. Volpatti having an impact right here, hitting Brian Allen. This is what you need after you've just been scored upon. Then Weiss getting an opportunity. Great play by Bolesky, though, in getting back. But that's a good shift for the fourth line from Vancouver.
Off the draw, puck taken away by Solani, and out comes Anaheim to center. Bobby Ryan dumps it in. Edler goes back to it. Here's Burrows. His pass almost picked off, but he gets it back, and now Henrik. Long lead pass to Daniel. Daniel works down the wing on Luton with a shot stopped by Hiller, and he's able to corral the rebound for a whistle.
That's a pretty easy save for Hiller when you have a guy like Sedin Daniel coming down the side. Very far out, throws it at the net. I think more than anything, he's just hoping for a rebound on this play. And Hiller, you can see, in just perfect position, handles that rebound nicely.
30 goals last year for Daniel Sedin. Missed the last 10 games. And with that concussion, courtesy of Duncan Keith, of the regular season and the start of the playoffs. And you wonder if that was the difference in that series against LA. But the way the Kings played the rest of the way, they were just so good.
Yeah, they were.
Pagliano works it in. Here's Koivu behind the net. Tanev watching. Back to the line. Allen's shot didn't get through. Blocked by Ebbett. Tanev able to clear. Ryan Allen dumps it back in. No icing. Ducks change all 5 skaters as Ballard takes control and works the puck to his own blue line. Up the near boards. Spiza goes to it in his own zone. Hit by Lapierre in the corner. Puck off a stick and out. Just off the bench's hand. He wires it back in. Spiza gives it away to Higgins. Trying to work it up front. Spiza bailed himself out by knocking the puck away. Lapierre now. Higgins in the corner. Gets left. Misses him. Higgins tries to play it out front. Never got it there. Yannick Hansen gets control, though. Down low out front. Hamhuis shot. Scores!
Well, this is a seeing eye shot by Hamhuis from the point. My point going to be made with Hiller that he's less of a reactionary type goalie. It's all about positioning. And this is a shot that, in my opinion, from that far out, he should probably be able to make this save. There is a fair amount of traffic, but as you can see, he tries to use that big body as opposed to looking around traffic. Although it's a good shot just inside the point, but I do think that if he were looking around a little bit more, that probably isn't the hardest shot he's ever going to face.
Hamhuis from Hansen and Higgins. 9:53. And we're tied at 1 in Vancouver. Volpatti dumps it in. No icing on the play. Bolsheman to Solani. He lifts it down the ice. Bieksa and Hamhuis trying to settle it down. Bieksa gets control. And now Hamhuis for Volpatti. Takes a bump from Allen. Ryan able to keep it onside. Solani on the forecheck. Gets a stick on Bieksa, and that'll be another Vancouver power play. So Teemu Solani, the 42-year-old, headed to the box. And the Canucks with a second power play here in the first period.
Welcome back inside the Rogers Center, and a real fun story to watch this year will be that of defenseman for the Canucks, Jason Garrison, the hometown boy, getting to play tonight for the first time in a Canucks uniform. The big thing for him is all the tickets he's going to have to buy this year. Tonight he has 10 members of his family, all with Canucks jerseys, and for the first time they'll be able to put Garrison on the back. And what's amazing about him is that he didn't play full-time defense until he was 20 years old. Rick?
Thank you, Cassie. And Garrison gets a chance in the power play again for the second time. 9 of his 16 goals last year in Florida came with the man advantage. And he's got that big cannon working the right point for the Vancouver Canucks, who will carry through center, led by Edler. Now Henrik. Hansen dumps it in. Daniel trying to catch up to it. Boschman pokes it away. Henrik gets to it on the half wall. Checked by Koivu. Now Hansen trying to work it out front. Down low to Daniel. Backhand pass to Henrik, and they'll set it up. Edler. Long shot. Deflects off the stick of Boschman. Out front. They score! Daniel Sedin gives Vancouver their first lead of the season.
What I like about this play, Rick, is that when Edler has it at the point, he doesn't go to the obvious choice in Garrison. That's what I thought they were going to try and overuse. In this case, Hansen does a wonderful job also. Watch the battle in front of the net. Hansen creating a lot of traffic in front, and the Ducks getting caught up, tangled up with him. And Daniel with terrific hands going across the body of Hiller and not going to the obvious stick side on this play. I think that's just an excellent effort by Hansen, and he should be credited for that terrific play.
Yannick Hansen hasn't seen a lot of time on the power play as a Vancouver Canuck, but because of injuries, he gets out there and looks good on that run as the Canucks are up 2-1. Here comes Lapierre with a wraparound loose puck. Higgins can't get to it. Hamhuis with a shot, hit traffic in front, puck top of the crease. Lapierre can't get control. Finally picked up and carried out by Palmieri. Getzlaf lets it go in. Waits for his teammates to tag up. Ducks begin a change. Pass goes off. Perry into the Anaheim zone. Speeds it to it. This is Perry with a pass. Ballard retreats. Mason Raymond, who had a hat trick in the scrimmage 2 nights ago, lost the puck at the line. Tanev in his own zone.
I'm a little bit surprised, Rick, because in watching their practice yesterday, the Ducks, and today the Canucks, they had a lot more chip and chase in their practice, and they've gotten away from that, and that really is the style they need to play.
Here's Raymond trying to work the puck down low. Pass out front, the puck's behind him, and Solani over to it. He was in the box when the Canucks scored that last goal. Speeds it to Ryan, and he'll chip it out. Chris Tanev. Nice find for Mike Gillis. Undrafted, played at the Rochester Institute of Technology. Not exactly a hockey hotbed.
No.
But he's turning into a nice young player.
This portion of Hockey Night in Canada on CBC is brought to you by Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities.
Another sellout of Rogers Arena. Longest consecutive sellout streak in the NHL, 408 straight.
Love their hockey here in Vancouver.
Here's Bolesky behind the Vancouver net, throws it out front, took an awkward hop, and Schneider's able to hang on.
Those are dangerous right there because you're not expecting that play to the side of you. You're expecting the puck to come out front, and it's an awkward way in which to try and follow the puck. That's great focus by Schneider. Malhotra gets the puck off his knee, and you can see that Schneider, good focus in trying to follow that puck. I've seen many of those go behind goaltenders.
Face out to the right of Schneider. Lapierre wins the draw. Garrison feeds it up the boards, doesn't get it out. Nice job by Boschman to keep it in for the Ducks. Malhotra able to work it free, and here comes Lapierre through center. Has Weiss with him over the line. Dale Weiss works it down low with a shot off the outside of the post.
That's the second time this period already. He's used his speed well, Weiss.
48 points in 19 games with the Tilburg Trappers of the Dutch League during the lockout. Got a standing ovation when he left the team on the last night he was in civvies on the ice. People went crazy.
That's funny. With all due respect, I don't know if he's going to get many more standing ovations in his career. And I like him.
At the Anaheim blue line.
See, that's a play right here. I know that you have to give your star players more leeway, but I really think that one of the things you can do in a chip and chase game is back off the defending team, and then it will open up later in the second period and usually in the third. But if you try and make plays at the blue line and they're intercepted like that, it can lead to offsides.
So the line out there for Vancouver. Puck pops over the stick of Henrik at the side of the goal. Koivu back the other way. Cogliano with him. Allen joins the rush, takes the pass, but has to pick it up off the boards. Jordan Hendry, the former Chicago Blackhawk, a late addition to the lineup tonight, plays it behind the net.
Solid player, Hendry.
Ballard able to clear it out to Henrik, tips it in. Daniel missed the pass. Here's Brian Allen, the former Vancouver Canuck, was almost an Anaheim Duck when he was drafted 4th overall by Vancouver in '98. Assistant GM of the Ducks said, we were going to take you next, but they got you.
You know,
so that's ice the puck.
The one thing about Allen that's interesting is that here's a guy that, as you said, drafted in that position. He is the guy that, in my estimation, has worked hard and shown great determination in getting to this position. Even though he's drafted that high, he had a long way to go in improving his skating skills, and he's worked at it.
With the addition of Allen and Sheldon Surrey in the blue line, they've certainly upped the mass quotient on the defense of the Anaheim Ducks this year. Lapierre works the puck in. Drop pass Higgins. Out front for Lapierre, tipped away by Sheldon Surrey. Yannick Hansen gets control. Nice play to Hamhuis. He'll shoot, put it wide, looking for a redirect. Traffic in front. And a penalty coming up as Lapierre falls on top of Hiller. So the Canucks lead by 1, but Anaheim's power play will go to work for the first time tonight. 2-1 Vancouver at Rogers Arena.
Well, this clearly is goaltender interference by Lapierre. Now, I talked earlier about the Winnick goal, and that was incidental contact. This clearly is Lapierre trying to get involved. He may be pushed a little bit, but you have to try and get out of the goaltender's way, and in my opinion, he didn't do that.
Anaheim's first power play. 21st power play unit last season at 16.6%. Canucks penalty killing was 6th overall. Shot from the point is stopped by Schneider, and he's able to hang on as Ryan Getzlaf works back at
not that hard. They have a tendency to start to rise along the way, and they can even dip, and that one looked to me as though it was rising a little bit.
He can drill it.
Yep. But that is exactly what we saw yesterday again, using the points.
Presenting the Hockey Night second screen using a laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Participate in trivia, polls, and games. Interact and compete for cash prizes. Be part of our broadcast. Engage with us by going to cbcsports.ca/second screen. Sheldon Surrey from Teemu Selanne at 15:23 on the power play. Official scoring on that power play goes. The puck winds up on the Anaheim bench.
This is exactly what both goaltenders didn't want. Hiller, I understand, had an amazing training camp, but you get into the game, and although I can't say that they've been bombarded with shots, they're getting quality attempts. And you know what? You're just trying to fight through this first period. Every goaltender's dream or goal when you're getting through this first game of the year is to get through the first 5 minutes and then get through the first period.
Twins back out there. Henrik can't keep the puck in. Koivu, nice play to feed it to center ice to Winnick. Open the scoring in this game, but he takes a bump there by Garrison. Burrow's trying to help. Koivu gets the puck. Cogliano to Winnick. Back out front. Pass deflected by Edler. Bludman. Nice play to Cogliano with a shot. He put it wide. Daniel chips it up the boards. Not out. Kept onside by Bolshevik. The pressure by this Anaheim unit on the number 1 Vancouver line. There's Getzlaf. His pass deflected by Daniel late in the shift. He heads off as Hansen has to retreat to pick up the puck. Edler clears. Allen almost lost it. Perry has to tag up. That gives Edler time to take control to Garrison. Lapierre checked off the puck. Palmieri back the other way down the wing as two Ducks with him. Here's a pass by Getzlaf, but Perry couldn't control it. Would have been a great chance there. Puck goes to the corner, and it's cleared up by Vancouver. Lapierre brings it back in. Bumped by Allen. Hendry, Getzlaf, Allen, and out. Fired back in by Lapierre. Canucks change up front on the fly. Inside 3 minutes to go. First period of play in Vancouver. Tie hockey game, Canucks and Ducks. Bolesky misses the pass. This will be icing on Anaheim as Dan Hamhuis gets back to it.
There are a lot of nervous hockey players on the ice right now, Rick. This is not what they expected. I'm really surprised by both teams, in fact, again, that they're just not getting pucks deep. I really think that for whatever reason they're thinking too much, and they just have to play the systems that they've been working on.
19-year-old Rickard Rakell facing off for Anaheim in his own zone against Ebbett. Here's Bieksa with a one-timer from the line. Bolesky blocked that. So they got caught with the youngster out there after the icing call, and the Canucks try to take advantage. Ebbett back to Bieksa, over to Hamhuis. Hamhuis with a shot, deflected, and it goes wide of the goal. I'm not sure if Hiller got a piece of it. Either way, that was a great chance for the Canucks, and they go back to work. Bieksa with a one-timer, and that's stopped by Hiller. Can't hang on to it. Here's Hamhuis with a shot, deflects off Cassian, wide of the goal. Ebbett able to pick it up, back to Bieksa, another one-timer, that goes just wide. Great pressure by Vancouver. Long shot by Hamhuis, blocked in front of the net by Hendry. Ducks finally able to clear. They'll get the fourth line off of there as Bolesky bats the puck into the zone.
Yeah, you know what I do like about the Canucks when they do enter the Ducks zone? A lot of traffic in front. And it's a very simple game, but I really think that this is the only way they're going to work through this until they get their legs and then they put their thinking caps on.
Canucks cough it up with their own line. Ducks take control, played out front, shot by Solani, steered away by Schneider. Ryan gets it back to the line. There's a shot by Surrey. That's stopped by Schneider. Rebounds controlled by Vancouver, and Malhotra hits Volpatti at center, and he gets hit hard by Bobby Ryan. Volpatti stays on his feet, works it in, but they're going to call that offside at the Anaheim blue line. The minute 21 to go in the first period.
Well, one of the things I said is all the traffic Vancouver's trying to get in front of Hiller. You can see Mason Raymond with a nice deflection attempt right here. It just goes wide. You can see Castian in front. This is exactly how this line has to play. Mason Raymond trying to get back on the board. I think we all, Bobby Ryan right here with the hit. A lot of physical play in this, but Mason Raymond's the kind of guy that after the season last year, you kind of feel that, boy, sure hope things go well for him after the really tough injury he had in the finals.
Broke his back against Boston Stanley Cup final, and as you might suspect, was not his best season last year. He's looking for a much better performance this year. And he showed a lot more confidence in training camp with the puck going to the hard areas as we hit the final minute of the first period of play. Ballard to Burrows. Daniel will tip it in. He gives chase. Ludman back to it. Boschman clears the zone to center. Edler to Burrows. Lost control. Ludman takes it back. Canucks hit 5 back at center ice. Here's Getzlaf down the wing. Gets around Lapierre. Throws a shot from a sharp angle. Steered away by Schneider. Played back out front by Ryan. That misses Perry, and the puck goes to center ice harmlessly. Spiza. Perry. Nice tip pass to Getzlaf. Trying to work it in, but he's cut off by Garrison and Edler. Inside 10 seconds to go in the period. Garrison and Getzlaf battle deep. Puck comes free to Perry. Here's Ryan with a shot. He put it just wide. Brian Allen gets his shot away as the horn sounds. That's blocked by Hansen, and the first period comes to an end. We are tied at 2 through 20 minutes. Canucks and Ducks in Vancouver as we throw it to Ron and Don in Studio 42.
shot that hard, they have a tendency to start to rise along the way, and they can even dip, and that one looked to me as though it was rising a little bit.
He can drill it.
Yep. But that is exactly what we saw yesterday again, using the points.
Presenting the Hockey Night second screen using a laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Participate in trivia, polls, and games. Interact and compete for cash prizes. Be part of our broadcast. Engage with us by going to cbcsports.ca/second screen. Sheldon Surrey from Teemu Selanne at 15:23 on the power play. Official scoring on that power play goes. The puck winds up on the Anaheim bench.
This is exactly what both goaltenders didn't want. Hiller, I understand, had an amazing training camp, but you get into the game, and although I can't say that they've been bombarded with shots, they're getting quality attempts. And you know what? You're just trying to fight through this first period. Every goaltender's dream or goal when you're getting through this first game of the year is to get through the first 5 minutes and then get through the first period.
Twins back out there. Henrik can't keep the puck in. Koivu, nice play to feed it to center ice to win it. Open to scoring in this game, but he takes a bump there by Garrison. Burrow's trying to help. Koivu gets the puck. Cogliano to win it. Back out front. Pass deflected by Edler. Bludman, nice play to Cogliano with a shot. He put it wide. Daniel chips it up the boards. Not out. Kept onside by Bolshevik. The pressure by this Anaheim unit on the number one Vancouver line. Here's Getzlaf. His pass deflected by Daniel late in the shift. He heads off as Hansen has to retreat to pick up the puck. Edler clears. Allen almost lost it. Perry has to tag up. That gives Edler time to take control to Garrison. Lapierre checked off the puck. Palmieri back the other way down the wing as two Ducks with him. Here's a pass by Getzlaf, but Perry couldn't control it. Would have been a great chance there. Puck goes to the corner and it's cleared up by Vancouver. Lapierre brings it back in. Bumped by Allen. Hendry, Getzlaf, Allen, and outs. Fired back in by Lapierre. Canucks change up front on the fly. Inside 3 minutes to go. First period of play in Vancouver. Tie hockey game, Canucks and Ducks. Bolesky misses the pass. This will be icing on Anaheim as Dan Hamhuis gets back to it.
There are a lot of nervous hockey players on the ice right now, Rick. This is not what they expected. I'm really surprised by both teams, in fact, again, that they're just not getting pucks deep. I really think that for whatever reason they're thinking too much, and they just have to play the systems that they've been working on.
19-year-old Rickard Rakell facing off for Anaheim in his own zone against Ebbett. Here's Bieksa with a one-timer from the line. Bolesky blocked that. So they got caught with the youngster out there after the icing call, and the Canucks try to take advantage. Ebbett back to Bieksa, over to Hamhuis. Hamhuis with a shot, deflected, and it goes wide of the goal. I'm not sure if Hiller got a piece of it. Either way, that was a great chance for the Canucks, and they go back to work. Bieksa with a one-timer, and that's stopped by Hiller. Can't hang on to it. Here's Hamhuis with a shot, deflects off Cassian, wide of the goal. Ebbett able to pick it up, back to Bieksa, another one-timer, that goes just wide. Great pressure by Vancouver. Long shot by Hamhuis, blocked in front of the net by Hendry. Ducks finally able to clear. They'll get their fourth line off of there as Bolesky backs the puck into the zone.
Yeah, you know what I do like about the Canucks when they do enter the Ducks zone? A lot of traffic in front. And it's a very simple game, but I really think that this is the only way they're going to work through this until they get their legs and then they put their thinking caps on.
Canucks cough it up with their own line. Ducks take control, played out front, shot by Selanne, steered away by Schneider. Ryan gets it back to the line. There's a shot by Surrey. That's stopped by Schneider. Rebounds controlled by Vancouver, and Malhotra hits Volpatti at center, and he gets hit hard by Bobby Ryan. Volpatti stays on his feet, works it in, but they're going to call that offside at the Anaheim blue line. A minute 21 to go in the first period.
Well, one of the things I said is all the traffic Vancouver's trying to get in front of Hiller. You can see Mason Raymond with a nice deflection attempt right here. It just goes wide. You can see Castian in front. This is exactly how this line has to play. Mason Raymond trying to get back on the board. I think Bobby Ryan right here at the hit. A lot of physical play in this, but Mason Raymond's the kind of guy that after the season last year, you kind of feel that, boy, sure hope things go well for him after this really tough injury he had in the finals.
Broke his back against Boston Stanley Cup final, and as you might suspect, was not his best season last year. He's looking for a much better performance this year. And he showed a lot more confidence in training camp with the puck going to the hard areas as we hit the final minute of the first period of play. Ballard to Burrows. Daniel will tip it in. He gives chase. Luthman back to it. Boschman clears the zone to center. Edler to Burrows. Lost control. Luthman takes it back. Canucks hit 5 back at center ice. Here's Getzlaf down the wing. Gets around Lapierre. Throws a shot from a sharp angle. Steered away by Schneider. Played back out front by Ryan. That misses Perry, and the puck goes to center ice harmlessly. Spiza. Perry. Nice tip pass to Getzlaf. Trying to work it in, but he's cut off by Garrison and Edler. Inside 10 seconds to go in the period. Garrison and Getzlaf battle deep. Puck comes free to Perry. Here's Ryan with a shot. He put it just wide. Brian Allen gets his shot away as the horn sounds. That's blocked by Hansen, and the first period comes to an end. We are tied at 2 through 20 minutes. Canucks and Ducks in Vancouver as we throw it to Ron and Don in Studio 42.
In Vancouver, the Canucks and the Ducks tied at 2 heading for the second period. There was a buzz around here yesterday and today over the signing of Alex Edler's contract extension, 6-year deal worth $30 million. It's a lot of money, but Edler plays 24 minutes a game. The feeling is on the open market he could have got more, and so the Canucks think they got a pretty good deal. It's also worth noting the Canucks' 4 top defensemen are all signed through to at least 2016, and so Vancouver is expecting stability and hoping for consistency on the blue line. To Rick and Kelly.
Thank you, Scott. Alex Edler, 7th in defensive scoring in the NHL last year. Career highs for him. Points, goals.
He does it all, doesn't he, Rick?
But he has to adjust this year. No Sammy Salo, which was his normal partner before, and now he's got to play on the right side with Jason Garrison playing on the left side. Here's an odd man rush for Burrows and Henrik Sedin. Burrows right in. Spinorama, backhand, put it wide. That was going to be pretty. Henrik able to keep it in with help from Daniel, but Koivu able to poke it out to center ice. Good early chance for the Canucks. 2-2 game. Daniel and Hamhu scoring for Vancouver. 2 newcomers for the Ducks in the first period. Winnick and Sheldon Surrey. Edler and Allen come together. Edler gets the puck. There's Jason Garrison. Nice pass to Hansen with room. Hansen stumbles, but he plays it out front. Lapierre can't get to it. Here's Hansen again, trying to work it off the wall. High slot with a shot. That's stopped by Hiller. Lapierre gets the rebound. Ryan Allen ties him up. Ryan Getzlaf gets the puck. Over to Jordan Henry, and he'll bring it out to center ice. Fires it in. Hamhu's first man back. Gets it up to Hansen. Saw Luthman at the last second. Avoided a big hit. Got the puck out to the Anaheim line. Scrambly start to the second period.
I'll say.
Ryan Perry works it in. Gets around a check. Trying to cut out front. Sharp angle shot stopped by Schneider, and then the net's knocked off the pegs. as Kyle Palmieri runs into Corey Schneider.
And even when the teams get good chances, they do unusual things like fall. Hansen's going to get a chance here right up the middle, and Allen is dog-tired. He can barely move, and if Hansen were able to keep his feet on that play, he would have had a good chance. Now Perry's going to get a chance from the corners, similar to the chance that Getzlaf had in the second, trying to go high short side, but Schneider was all over that.
Off the draw, the puck goes deep. Ducks outshot the Canucks 10-8 in that first period. Teemu Selanne works it down the wing with speed. On his off wing, tries to feed it out front. That puck bounces away from Bobby Ryan right to Ebbett, and he'll hit Raymond the other way. On the right side. Drop pass to Tanev with room. To the top of the circle out front for Raymond. Tied up on a good play by Ludman. Ballard pinches. Through the crease with the pass. Puck bounces to Tanev. Over to Ballard. Around the boards. Cassian can't reach it. Selanne able to take it away. Boschman, lead pass, Bobby Ryan works it in, but Bonino's bumped offside by Tanev, and the whistle blows.
You know, one of the things that we talked to Alain Vigneault about was Mason Raymond this morning. And what Raymond has to do is continue to move his feet well, drive the puck wide, and take the puck to the net. In this case, he pulls up on Ludman, goes to the front for that deflection similar to the first. But Mason Raymond, that's not a timid play. I think that just he has to remind himself to go hard to the net, take the puck there.
It's 10 goals last year for Mason Raymond. Here's a chance for Weiss off the wing with a shot. Hiller makes the save, and he's able to freeze that under his pad as Weiss comes together with Spiza. Nothing comes of that.
Well, this is an odd play right here because just as Weiss is going to shoot the puck, his hand comes off the shaft of his stick, and he barely gets anything on it. This is just a confusing game right now to watch, and I suppose we should have expected this, but that was an unusual play right there. No standing ovation for that one.
Well, that play's big in the Dutch League. They all do it over there. Off the draw, the Ducks clear the zone. Edler back to it. His pass goes up into the Anaheim bench.
Well, that was one of the times where what we expected, Henrik Sedin taking the draw in the offensive zone. I thought going in this game more, it was a lot talked about. Manny Malhotra taking a lot of the draws in the defensive zone and Henrik in the offensive zone. That hasn't been the case so far. Maybe that'll happen as the game progresses.
Well, the guys in the studio made some great points about missing Kessler in a lot of ways. So one of them is faceoffs. He was a workhorse in the faceoff circle last season, and you don't have that option right now. At least not as reliable a one as Weiss plays it out front for Volpati. He's tied up. Loose puck is knocked away, but not out. Here's Ballard with a shot into traffic. That's blocked as Winnick got down in front of it. And the Ducks able to work it out. Cogliano down the wing. Koivu up front to Winnick. Scores! That's 2 for Daniel Winnick. And it's 3-2 Anaheim.
Well, one of the hardest things when you're a goaltender and you haven't played much, you're dealing with lots of traffic and trying to read a play. And this is not an easy play right here. They blocked the shot right here, Anaheim. Get the puck moving. Try and get the puck across. And you can see that Schneider is just not reading the play as well as he normally does on that play. He doesn't come across. And Winnick gets a second of the night.
8 goals all of last year for Daniel Winnick, 2 tonight. Ducks are back on top. Early second period of play. Koivu gets his second helper of the game. Cogliano with the other assist. Well, we thought it might be a little sloppy. First game, no preseason, and I think it's safe to say it has been.
I think for Schneider, he's just going to have to make a really nice, easy save and start to feel good about himself right now.
Kyle Palmieri into the zone with a shot. Bieksa deflects that to the corner. Shot back out front, and Perry couldn't get a stick to it with the open side of the net looking at it. Now a shot's blocked by Hamhuis. Lapierre trying to get it out. He can't. Getzlaf chips it deep. Perry battling with Hamhuis. Bieksa gets the puck. Lifts it to the line and out to center ice, and the Canucks have numbers here as Hansen tries to catch up to it, but good hustle by Ludman to chop that into the Vancouver bench and break up a possible 3-on-2.
Well, this isn't what Corey Schneider was hoping for, and you hope that this, so early in the season, doesn't lead to some sort of goalie controversy. You know, Roberto's sitting there. He's waiting for his chance. He's an awfully proud person, so, you know, given an opportunity, he's going to be lights out. You look at his numbers as a career with the Canucks. He's a winning machine with 224 wins in 6 seasons. But I hope this doesn't lead to too much speculation early on, Rick. You know, the fans here, they don't have a lot of patience for the goaltenders. But I know that Roberto is very, very supportive. But you know also, Rick, that he is going to play great his first game. And you'd hate to have it go south for Schneider, so that it would lead to that controversy.
Well, that's the concern, is the firestorm that's going to happen if that scenario unfolds like you suggest, Kelly, outside of the team.
That's right.
I don't know that it'd be as big an issue in the room, but
not at all.
In a hockey-mad market like Vancouver, as the Ducks go offside, you know, it'll go crazy if Luongo comes in, plays great, if Schneider struggles.
And you wouldn't expect anything else from Luongo than to go out there and play great. You know, he's used to playing all the games, and you know what? He wants that number 1 job back, whether it's here or elsewhere.
Alexander up the near boards to Burrows, tips it in, bumped by Ludman. Hiller stops it behind the net. Boschman can't take the pass. Henrik behind the net to Daniel up front. Burrows couldn't get to it. Henrik does, puts it wide. Here's Daniel in the wraparound. Puck slides to the crease, and Hiller's able to cover up.
Excellent play by Tony Ludman for the Ducks. You know, he's a really underrated defenseman, if you ask me. Plays hard all the time, plays through injuries. His teammates love him, and now is a perfect setup in front of Hiller, and Ludman uses his experience. Good to note, too, you can see how tough he is. Yesterday in practice, he had a full face mask on. He's gone just to the shield.
He took a puck in practice earlier this week, but as you saw there, the half shield tonight. Pagliano in his own zone. Lead pass through center. Misses Winnick. 2 goals tonight for Daniel Winnick.
Not sure I would have thought that would happen tonight, Rick.
Probably a lot of things going to happen the first week or 2 of the season nobody expects, Kelly.
Like me in the booth?
Winnick 1 goal away from his first career hat trick. Edler back at his own line. Here's Cassian working it in. Ebbett with him. Takes the pass. Cassian out front. Ebbett behind the net. Back to the line to Tanev, but it's broken up on a good play there by Smith-Pelly. Clears the zone. Rare 4th line shift for the Ducks. Raymond dumps it deep. Spiza to it. Burrows bumps in, but Spiza gets away. Coughs it up. Daniel just off the bench. Steered away by Hiller. Burrows check behind the net. Penalty coming up to Vancouver as Burrows got a stick in the skates of Bolesky. And the Ducks up by 1. Get another power play. 3-2 Anaheim.
Alex Burrows showing a little bit of his frustration here on this play, trying to get involved in the game. He does hook Bolesky right here, throwing him off just a little bit off his stride. Has to get his hand in there too. Could have been holding as well.
Second power play for the Ducks. Bruce Boudreau talking today about it. Scott Niedermayer joining the coaching staff. He doesn't travel with the team. He says it's the best job in the world. You're a home assistant coach. And there's a chance for Perry off the draw. He scores. And that power play took all of 3 seconds to convert. And it's 4-2 Anaheim.
These kill you when you think right off the face-off. We go back to the Surrey goal, how that was right off the face-off. This one, right in front, Hamhuis can't handle it, and Perry's just a little bit stronger right there and takes a whack at it. Now he's not aiming for a spot, he's just going anywhere and see if he can't get Schneider before he's prepared. This is not the way that Schneider needed it to go, and I hope he can just relax and know that the season isn't going to be judged on this first 14 or 7 minutes of this second period.
So the Ducks power play, which struggled last year, 2 for 2 tonight. And Corey Perry puts them up by 2. Getzlaf works it in. There's a chance. They score! Kyle Palmieri finds the back of the net.
Well, this is not what the Canucks were expecting or needed right now. We were expecting Luongo perhaps to play tomorrow. Now, what would you do now, Rick? Would you now put Luongo in like they're going to do and throw in Schneider again tomorrow? This is a difficult position for the Canucks to find themselves in. You could just sense this happening, too, because the Canucks were really on their heels in their own zone. Corey Schneider does not have a good feeling going into it right now. He looked really nervous moving out towards the shot. Let's take a look how this happens again. Right off the face-off, what I said earlier, get the puck deep, a little bit of chip and chase, and then out. Strength of person, there it is, right to the high slot. Excellent through the arm and the body of Schneider.
2 goals in 11 seconds. Corey Perry on the power play, and 11 seconds later, Kyle Palmieri makes it 5-2. You heard the crowd chanting Lou. Luongo now between the pipes for the Vancouver Canucks. And Kelly, that scenario you had touched on earlier, maybe playing itself out faster than anybody might have thought.
Well, I hope I'm not right, but the pressure is a lot different, and I hope this isn't the reason why Schneider's gotten off to a poor start. I just hope that it's one of those things where it's early on in the season after a lengthy lockout, and that he can find a way to recoup from this, because that's not even fun to watch. That's just not fun to watch.
Sedins are out there now looking to turn the momentum as Henrik takes the pass from Daniel. Drops it off to Burrows. Daniel behind the net. Burrows goes out front. Daniel on his backhand. Knocked away from him. Sheldon Surrey gets over to it. He has a goal tonight. Clears the zone. Tanev at his own line. Now Ballard. Daniel. Tip pass. Dumps it in instead. Canucks change on the fly. Henrik by himself on the forecheck with the Ducks clear. Raymond picks it up. Henrik caught offside. Cassian waits. And that allows Surrey to find Spiza. Bobby Ryan plays it deep. Garrison back to it. Leaves the puck in the corner. Comes loose top of the circle. Here's Solani. On the backhand behind the net. Hit hard by Edler, who takes the puck away. Pass to Cassian. Doesn't connect. And this is going to be icing on Vancouver. All the momentum on the side of the Ducks right now.
Well, I talked about it in the opening, how important Ryan Getzlaf is to this organization, this team. And you know what? He has to be that force that he can be. And it's up to him to decide if he wants to. It looks though as tonight he's back to where he was. Terrific play on the boards, throwing the puck out in front to Palmieri.
Ryan Getzlaf in a contract year. He's an unrestricted free agent. So is Corey Perry at the end of this season if they don't get signed to extensions in the meantime.
Tells you how strong he is, too, because that was against LaPierre. LaPierre is a big, strong man as well, and he just had more will on that play to get the puck and take it to the front of the net.
Ducks called for icing. Past the 8-minute mark here in the second period. Corey Schneider gives up 5 on 14 shots, 26.5 minutes between the pipes before he's replaced by Luongo.
Sounds like Jonathan Quick's days today in LA, wasn't it?
We've always talked about goalies struggling under these kind of scenarios. Schneider, one of the few Canucks who played overseas, even though it was briefly. As Luongo makes his first save off Boschman, an easy one, he's able to hang on.
Yeah, you know, though, the experience is way different, Rick. I don't think that you compare playing over there and in the Spengler Cup to this sort of action and this sort of pressure. You know, you go overseas and people don't have those same sort of expectations. Here, as I said before, he had wrestled the #1 job away, and now it's yours to hold, and that's very difficult when you have a guy like Luongo pushing you.
LaPierre gets his own face-off win, clears his own. Hansen center ice, plays it in. LaPierre gives chase. Throws a hard hit in the corner on Palmieri, but Palmieri makes the play. Puck goes to the other side. Getzlaf clears. No, he doesn't. Stayed in. Now he gets it back. He'll bring it out to center ice. Getzlaf over the line. Here's Ludman with a shot. Put it over the net. Getzlaf behind the goal out front. The Perry chipped it towards the goal mouth. It's knocked away before Luongo had to make a save. LaPierre gets control, settles things down. Ducks making changes. Canucks clear. This will be icing. Motionman back to it. And Anaheim on the accelerator here, up 5-2 as we approach the midway mark of the second period.
Ryan Getzlaf has been an amazing player so far today, and I had a chance earlier today to talk to Bruce Boudreau, his coach, about Getzlaf and what he expects of him and how he has to push his buttons every once in a while and get him to play. And you know what? He's practicing better this week so far too, Rick, and that's an important thing for a leader to do.
One helper for Getzlaf tonight. Bolesky with the puck. Fires through traffic, missed the net. Comes to the line. Surrey can't keep it in. Evan Bieksa. Yannick Hansen. Popped it up. Raquel with a shot. That goes wide. Dan Hamhuis gets it off the end boards, and he's able to clear. Spiza put it back in offside. Now they blow it dead. And the faceoff will come outside the zone. Well, tomorrow things get up close and personal on a brand new Dragon's Den. Then, catch an all-new Republic of Doyle. That's tomorrow starting at 8 on CBC TV. Dale Weiss plays the puck deep. Miller out of the goal to stop it. Tanev keeps it onside. Over to Ballard. Pressured by Winnick. Ballard keeps it in. Volpatti. Now Holtra. Weiss. Lost the puck. Koivu able to take it away at the side of his own goal, and he'll work it to the line. Brian Allen at center. Gets it ahead to Cogliano. Plays it deep. Luongo leaves that for Ballard. Past the midway mark of the second. Cogliano keeps it in out front to Koivu. Had to take the pass in the backhand. They couldn't pull the trigger. Kept onside by Ludman. Fakes the shot. Tony Ludman gets the shot away through traffic. Luongo was bumped, but the puck goes wide. Boschman pinches. Cogliano out front looking for Winnick, who's looking for the hat trick. That pass broken up, and now Holtra able to clear. Icing waved off. That allows the Canucks to change.
Vancouver looks awfully nervous with the puck, don't they, Rick?
Yep.
They are making so many poor decisions. Wow, tunnel vision all over the place.
Trail by 3. Canucks get 3 goals in 3:04 of the second period to blow this one open. Solani can't take the pass. Edler tries to clear, put it right off Solani. Edler goes back to it. Quick pass up to Daniel Sedin. Carries in right side. Burrows with him. Henrik as well. Henrik works it down low. Played it out front. That pass deflected away. Henrik gets it back. His pass blocked by Hiller. Got the paddle out. Bonino drops it off to Boschman. He finds Solani in the corner. Back to Boschman. And they clear to center ice. Daniel has to wait. Didn't. Offside Vancouver. 8:19 left. It's all Anaheim. Ducks 5, Canucks 2 in the second period.
Goals on 14 shots. The backup goaltender is in. It is Roberto Luongo in our Subway buyout tonight. He's earning all kinds of praise for how he's handled the situation. In particular, how he's impressed with his sense of humor in his Twitter account. When the 49ers went with Colin Kaepernick at quarterback ahead of their veteran, Alex Smith, he tweeted, "You could never go wrong with going with the youngster over the veteran." And when New York Jets coach Rex Ryan was discovered to have a tattoo of his wife wearing his quarterback sweater, Luongo tweeted about it and followed up with this picture. This is a sense of humor Canuck fans rarely have seen from him. They love him again, and they've got a chance to chant his name tonight a lot earlier than expected.
Thank you, Scott. So Luongo in after Schneider struggled. Don Cherry in the first intermission talking about keeping both those guys. And I mean, if you can do it, why not?
I agree with that. You know what? This is a new experience for Schneider, and it's a learning experience. As we've seen so far, it hasn't gone very well.
Play very scrambly with 7.5 to go in the second period as Bieksa works it out to center ice. Long lead pass off the left wing. Higgins over the line. There's a shot up high on Hiller. He's able to make the save. And finally covers up with traffic in front of the goal.
Cheer on your team with the Scotia Hockey High Five app. Every goal is a chance to win great NHL prizes. Visit Facebook.com/Scotia Hockey Club and start high-fiving.
Canucks have certainly been back on their heels after those 3 goals to start this period by Anaheim. Most of the play has been in the Vancouver zone as Cogliano works it through center ice.
Well, you wouldn't expect this either, Rick. Canucks, because they're so mentally strong normally, they look very fragile, and you wouldn't expect it after just such a short amount of time.
Mason Raymond with the puck over to Tanev. He'll bring it in on the right side. Long shot over top of the net, around the glass and out. Here's Ballard. Ahead to Ebbett. Now Cassian carries in. Raymond with him. Cassian shot deflects behind the goal. Out the other side. Ebbett gets to it. Here's Tanev. Long shot. Steered away by Hiller. Got the left pad on it. Ebbett down low. Koivu checks in. Cogliano gets the puck. Clears the zone down the ice. And this will be icing on Anaheim as Chris Tanev goes back to it.
Well, let's give you a little recap here of why Corey Schneider finds himself on the bench. We'll see it starts with the win-it goal, in which I said until he wasn't reading the play, he's a little bit uncomfortable right there. Corey Perry right in front. Schneider can't close the 5-hole. And lastly, Paul Mary. And it just came out, you know, it looks kind of like he's aggressive, but he's really not. He's just hoping the puck's going to hit him in that case. Right now, I think this is a good opportunity for Vancouver to regroup, talk about what they need to do, start getting pucks deep.
And those 3 goals coming in a 3:04 span of the second period. It's been all Anaheim since then. Ducks call a timeout here after the icing call.
I think this is a good move. You know what? Momentum can change at any point in a game. And if you think that this could be the moment in which it's going to turn against you, call a timeout. Let your guys get rested, regroup. Smart play.
Henrik Sedin against Saku Koivu on the draw. 6.5 minutes to go in the second period. Brian Allen around the boards. Cogliano can't get it out. Kept onside. Daniel weak shot never got through. Went off the leg of Hendry. Here's Burrows with a sharp angle shot. Steered aside by Hiller. Allen gets the rebound off the glass and out.
You know, in the first period we talked about the Canucks getting all kinds of traffic in front of Hiller. We haven't had any of that.
All the placement at the other end. There's a shot from the point that's steered away by Hiller.
Again, that's such an easy save for a guy like Hiller with no traffic.
Cogliano gloves it out to center ice, and he'll blow that dead as Solani touches the puck. Face-off back in the Anaheim zone. 5:56 to go in the second. Ducks 5.
Had 8 games in the Swiss League where he faced an average of 38 shots a game. Jannik Hansen played in Finland. Dale Weiss in the Netherlands, and Mason Raymond went to Switzerland but pretty much had to turn around and come back when the lockout was settled. That was it for the Canucks in Europe. It's a much shorter list than many other teams had, so the Canucks hope the belief that nothing can substitute for real game action doesn't apply to them in this sprint season, but we have to wonder about that tonight. Rick?
Thank you, Scott. Kelly, you got to wonder as well how much the first couple of weeks of the season are going to mean in terms of getting a gauge on how the rest of the year will play out. The problem is only 48 games. You just do not have time to recover if you have a bad start.
No, you don't. I remember I was a part of it as Glenn Healy was in '95 when we had the shortened season. And I let in a suspect goal my first game back, and Barry Melrose, the coach, told me the next day that basically we just can't have any of that, Kelly.
Here's Bieksa at the line with a long slapper. That goes off Ryan. Right back to Bieksa. Gets this one through, but it goes wide. Hanius keeps it in. One-timer off the skate of Ludman into the corner. Postman trying to clear with help from Perry. Does. Bobby Ryan limps off to the bench after taking that Bieksa shot off the foot. Canucks control at center. Ludman back to it. Weiss rides him into the end boards. Boschman trying to work it free. Volpatti able to get control for Vancouver. Aaron Volpatti knocked off his stick by Bolesky, but right over to Ballard. Ballard fakes. Narrow shoot. Hiller makes the save through traffic, and he's able to hang on.
That's Hiller's best save through traffic by far. A lot of times I feel that as though he uses that big body and doesn't look around. That one he did. We can see Bobby Ryan with this shot block off Bieksa. And he was suffering after that. There's no question about that.
Bobby Ryan has 4 straight 30-plus goal seasons. And the only other active player to do that from the start of his career is Alex Ovechkin. So that's pretty good company for him.
Not bad.
coming off a 31-goal season last year. Ducks ice the puck. Edler goes back to it.
You know, I think this is an example of why you need to be patient with young kids, because everybody knew when Bobby Ryan was drafted he was a highly skilled guy, but it didn't all work for him early on. You take a look at how many goals he had in his first 23 games over the course of 3 seasons, only 5. Then he exploded from 08 to today.
Off the draw, shot never gets through as Smith-Pelly blocked that one. Volpatti on the end boards, gets it free to Weiss. Dale Weiss back to the line. There's Garrison to Edler. Edler, long shot, stopped by Hiller. Saw it last second, made the save. Here's Weiss down low. Fourth line out there for the Canucks, creating some chances. Now Holtry. And Volpatti, battle in the corner. Smith-Pelly gets the puck and clears. Bolesky gives chase. Edler there first. There's Garrison behind his own net. Knocked down by Bolesky, but Garrison makes a play. Volpatti can't get it out. Puck comes to Luongo, and he'll cover up for a whistle. On Monday, Jerry gets an education in world religions on an all-new Mr. D. Then a killer gets caught on camera on a brand new episode of Murdoch Mysteries. Monday night, 8 o'clock, CBC TV.
I'll be watching Mr. D. I love that show.
Mr. K, watching Mr. D. I have to ask your nickname one of these days, Kelly.
No, I don't think I don't think I need a nickname, bud.
Luongo behind the net. 3.5 to go in the second. 5-2 Ducks. Blue open a 2-2 game early in the second. Ebbett can't get to it. Hendry does. Icing called on Vancouver.
Boy, you could sure feel the momentum change when Luongo went into the net. So far, he's only faced 1 shot, and I think that's why Bruce Boudreau called that timeout, because he could feel it, although it was a subtle momentum change, and now there's definitely a lot more urgency by the Canucks. They've really carried the play the last 4 minutes.
Face off to Luongo's left. Solani wins the draw. Here's Beauchemin at the right point. Benino battling down low, knocked off his stick, and then Ballard has the stick knocked out of his hands, and penalty coming up to Anaheim. So we'll see if the Canucks can get a goal here and get a little more life, Kelly. You mentioned they're starting to take the play to Anaheim a bit as the Ducks sit back with a 3-goal lead and a chance here on the power play.
Absolutely. This is a good opportunity. You know, you get that momentum back a little bit. You get a power play. You get one here, and it's an altogether different game. Interested to see how often they go to Garrison with that big shot. We've seen a couple of examples of it so far. I'm sure we'll see a couple more here.
Canucks 1 for 2 on the man advantage. That was Daniel Sedin's goal at the midway mark of the first period. And he'll be out there with Henrik and Hansen up front. Edler and Garrison on the points, but off the draw, the Ducks able to fire the puck down the ice.
Koivu's been amazing so far, PK.
Saku Koivu playing in his 1,013th game tonight. When you think about the health problems and the eye injury and the stuff that has happened to him in his career, that's a great story. There's Garrison with that big shot. That hit traffic in front. Winnick, who's got 2 goals tonight, can't clear it out. Nice job by Garrison to climb the ladder and keep it onside. Hansen takes it away from Lupin. Back to the point, Daniel. Gets the puck to Edler. Garrison pinches in the right corner. Back to Hansen at the line. Now to Garrison. Henrik. Daniel. Henrik. Hansen's out front. Here's Edler. Fanned on the shot, but the puck comes free in front of the goal. Weak backhander by Hansen and stopped by Hiller. Covers up with 1:02 left in the power play.
Well, we've talked a number of times about Garrison and that shot he has. Even off his back foot, he gets a lot on it. He's certainly not a guy that you have to remind often about getting the puck on the net. He's a shoot-first kind of guy. What I like about him, too, he's just not stationary. He'll change it up. He'll go to the front of the net. He's active. I know that he scored a few goals in Florida this way. last year and trying to make his way to the front of the net, so he's a little bit harder to cover when he's all over the place.
Garrison on the bench now, second unit out there. Hamhuis and Bieksa man the points. Burrows gets the puck back to Dan Hamhuis. He has a goal tonight. Here's Burrows. Burrows with a shot! Gloved by Hiller with Higgins in front. He's able to hang on.
All about positioning against for Hiller. He is a big guy, 6'2", and you know what? He just reads plays really, really well. He hangs back until he's pretty sure what the other team's going to do, and then he gets positioned that way. You see, Burrows gets quite a bit on that with Higgins right in front. Goes right through his legs, too, Higgins.
Yeah. Hey, Hiller with the right-hand glove, catching hand as well. But you were telling me earlier, Kelly, that it's not as big a deal as it maybe used to be.
Yeah, pre-scouting, these guys know exactly who they're facing.
42 seconds left in the power play. Bieksa's shot comes to the front of the goal. Higgins whacking away. Hiller's down. He's able to cover up. The Canucks getting chances with the second power play unit. Still trail by 3.
Nice and upright, too, Hiller on this play. He almost anchors himself to the ice, and that takes a lot of skill, takes a lot of strength, core strength right here. See that even jamming the puck at him, he's not going to move much backwards in this case, and it's a great example for young kids right there that you have to battle a lot when you're the goaltender. You can't allow them to knock that through you.
First unit back out there for Vancouver. Henrik facing off against Koivu, but again, the Ducks able to work it out. Here comes Winnick through center. Koivu joins him shorthanded. Winnick just dumps it in as Koivu peels off after winning the faceoff. 25 seconds left in the Anaheim penalty. Edler through center. Drop pass to Henrik. Carries in traffic, makes a play to Daniel, but good work by Cogliano to clear, and he gives chase. Tied up by Edler. Penalty coming up. Cogliano shoots wide. And that will nullify the final 7 seconds on the Vancouver power play as Edler was forced to interfere with Cogliano.
Yeah, I don't think he had any opportunity to try anything else. You know, the one thing about that bump back when the Canucks try and enter the Ducks zone is that it's pretty predictable right now, and Cogliano read that extremely well. He has great speed, as you know. He can use it. And in this case, I think that the Canucks with that bump back just have to be careful that they don't overuse it. Because I could just see Cogliano waiting at the blue line right there.
Team started to figure it out.
Yeah.
Second half of last season.
It's a good play, don't get me wrong, but it can be predictable if you don't have enough speed, especially.
Andrew Cogliano, by the way, has never missed a game in his 5-year career. Lapierre works the puck in. Anaheim on the power play. They're 2 for 2 tonight. And the last one took a matter of seconds to convert. Getzlaf goes offside, 4 seconds to be exact. Minute 3 to go in the period.
He looks like a better player, a different player, doesn't he already, Getzlaf? More engaged, more interested in handling the puck. You know, there were times last year where it seemed as though he didn't really have that desire to be the key guy again.
One thing Bruce Boudreau said about being here from the start of the season is he's got a better handle after his half year with the Ducks last season on how each guy ticks, what works for different players, which guys need a pat in the back, and which guys need a kick in the pants.
Yep.
Mason Raymond takes the puck away on the penalty kill. Here's Bieksa ahead to Burrows. Burrows working in with a shot. Hiller takes it up by Bieksa off the other side. Hiller comes across to make a save there on the rebound. Half minute to go in the second period. Getzlaf brings it into the power play to Solani. Pass fails to connect. Bieksa battling behind the net. Ryan tries to feed it up front. Played back to the line to Getzlaf, manning the left point. Getzlaf down low, they score! Solani able to work it between the pads of Luongo. Another power play goal. And it's 6-2 Anaheim.
Once again, there's Getzlaf taking control at the point, reading the situation, and Solani showing the hands that he's had for 21 years now in the National Hockey League. I mean, that's a crazy touch right there, and he knows he has to get it off the ice as well. So it's not just as though he's putting it on the net. He's aware of how Luongo is going to come across. He lofts the puck just enough to get it through the 5-hole above the goalie stick, and before Luongo can get the knees down.
Bieksa lost his stick. That allows the pass to come over. Solani puts it home. Picks up his 664th career goal.
Well, that'll sure take momentum away, won't it?
As the second period comes to an end. Well, it was all Ducks in that middle frame. They score 4 and lead 6-2. Cassie Campbell with Saku Koivu, which has happened since the midway mark of the first period. You might have forgotten the Canucks led this game 2-1 at that point, but 5 straight by the Ducks, including 4 in that second period, has blown this wide open as they lead the Canucks by a score of 6-2. Third period just underway. Been a dramatic opening game here in Vancouver. Ducks work it in. Luongo is in net. Schneider got pulled after giving up 5 on 14 shots, including a pair of goals 11 seconds apart in the second period to Corey Perry and Kyle Palmieri.
If it makes anybody feel better, Jonathan Quick, the Stanley Cup MVP, gave up 4 goals on 14 shots, so he's in good company that way.
And you look at what he did last year, Kelly, Corey Schneider, and the numbers he posted. To make a judgment based on the first game under unusual circumstances, I think would be crazy.
Absolutely.
Here's Dan Hamhuis. He has one tonight, trying to work it out front. That's blocked by Ludman. Getzlaf back the other way. Gets it ahead. Bolesky trying to get around the extra. Bolesky up front. That pass deflects away from Getzlaf into the corner.
Well, the Canucks skating a little bit better right now already.
Here's Higgins over the line. Lost the puck. Hamhuis can't keep it in. Could be a 2-on-1. Getzlaf with Bolesky. Bolesky out front. There's the pass. Nice save by Luongo. And he's able to cover up. As we go to Scott O. Scott.
Well, Rick, 56 times last season the Canucks scored the first goal of the game, so they didn't play a lot of catch-up. They've had to do it for most of the night with Corey Schneider driven from the net in the second period. Alain Vigneault said heading into back-to-back games, Anaheim tonight, Edmonton here tomorrow night, that he was all but certain he would start Roberto Luongo tomorrow night. Now the situation isn't quite so clear. Andy Petrullo reported in the second intermission that the fans are overwhelmingly in favor of Luongo starting, but it's Vigneault who's making the decision. The guess here is he'll come back with Schneider.
Thank you, Scott. Cassian works it in, trying to get around his check. Can't. Ballard follows up, throws it out front. That pass deflected away by Surrey. And here comes Solani. He scored in that second period. Works it over the line. Bonino with a shot off the wing. That goes off Ballard wide of the goal. Bobby Ryan. Solani. Lets it go to Nick Bonino. Back to Solani. Ryan now. Played it out front. This is Bonino with the pass. Ducks go to work on the cycle. Tanev watching Ryan down low. Solani goes out front. The pass is theirs. Luongo tried to cover up, but got help from Andrew Ebbett. Now the Canucks are able to clear the zone.
Ducks doing a great job working the puck down low, and they're just using their physical strength in this right now.
Both teams make changes. Ballard heads off. Edler wires that puck up the wall. Tipped in by Volpatti. Allen to it. Takes the bump. Gets the puck away. Garrison pitches. Can't keep it in. It comes out the center. Edler dumps it back in. Canucks have to tag up. That gives Allen time to go back and get control. Ryan Allen, the Canucks' 4th overall pick. First round choice, 98. One of the newcomers on the Anaheim blue line. Heads to the bench now on a change. Loose puck bouncing around at center ice. Falls onto the stick. Here's a chance for Raquel with a shot. That's steered away by Luongo. The 19-year-old gets a scoring chance. And Luongo answers the challenge.
He looks awfully confident, doesn't he? And comfortable with that puck. I noticed in the second period he had a chance similar to that, and he just did not hesitate.
Rickard Raquel figured he was headed back to Plymouth in the Ontario Hockey League after training camp in the starting lineup, the first game of the season. Great chance for his first NHL goal moment.
I think it helps too that he has an offensive-minded coach in Bruce Pedro that doesn't, he's going to give him a little bit of leeway, and he likes creativity.
Handler takes the bump, plays the puck over to Hamhuis as the Ducks make a change. Burrows, checked by Boschman. And Anaheim goes offside as we approach the 4-minute mark of the third.
Let's take a look at the youngsters' first good chance in the National Hockey League. Raquel gets a puck right in the slot. He's going to wire it, come in, move right in front. Puck takes a funny hop on Edler right there. That's why Raquel's able to get the step on him. fires it to stick side. Kind of reminds me of the first chance that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had on Henrik Lundqvist last year, and he scored with that laser beam to the blocker side.
Ducks able to work it in deep. Here's Bobby Ryan behind the net. Fed out front. Luongo uses a stick to steer that to the boards. Canucks trying to get it out, and will. Bieksa carries through center. Dumps it in. Higgins. Checked by Spiza. Popped it up behind the net. Getzlaf runs into Higgins. And Ryan Getzlaf takes the puck away and then gives it away. Here's Jannik Hansen trying to shoot. Doesn't. Turns instead. Back to the line to Bieksa. Over to Hamhuis with a shot. That bounces off Spiza. Never got through the net. And Ryan Getzlaf able to find Ryan. 2-on-1. Ryan over the line. Ryan with Palmieri. There's the pass. And he hit the crossbar. Luongo may have gotten a piece of it.
That's a remarkable save because the pass was deflected along the way, and so it came a lot slower than Luongo was hoping. That's a great desperation save.
Keeps it 6-2. Canucks down by 4. 5 minutes into the third. Daniel Sedin fires it in. Canucks have to take some chances. That's going to set up opportunities the other way as the Ducks carry out. Through center ice. Benino into the zone. Gets it over to Smith-Pelly with a shot. Luongo shuts the door. Bolesky plays the puck around. Back to the line. Allen can't keep it onside. Ducks have to regroup. Vancouver makes changes. Hendry's lead pass off Ebbett deep. Anaheim will change. Ebbett, Raymond, and Cassian out for Vancouver as Tanev carries through center and plays it deep. Bolshevik goes to it first. Ebbett on the forecheck. Winnick takes the pass. He'll clear the zone. Alex Edler puts it back in again. Swamp Bolshevik ahead to Koivu. Koivu's had a good night. So is Winnick.
Like Bolshevik go right up the middle.
Winnick has 2. His pass was behind Cogliano. Anaheim has to tag up on the delayed offside. And the Canucks able to clear. Icing waved off. Vancouver will change. 4th line out for the Canucks. Now Holter at center ice. Plays it in. Volpatti gets control. Weiss is out front. Volpatti cuts to the net. That's broken up by Lubin who knocked the puck away. Kyle Palmieri to center ice with Perry. Perry works it in down the left side. Hamhuis watches him in the corner. Palmieri comes over to help. Hamhuis gets it away. Here's Malhotra. Up to Weiss. Spiza rocks Weiss with a big hit along the boards. Puck comes out to center ice. Weiss back on his feet. Has words with Spiza out at center ice. Loose puck at the Vancouver line. Spiza able to keep it in. He takes a big hit from Weiss. Got him back.
You knew that was coming, didn't you, Rick?
See that one a mile away.
Yeah.
There's a chance. Puck played out front. Perry couldn't get to it. Hamhuis up the boards. Spiza pinches to keep it onside.
2 great pinches in this shift alone by Spiza.
Now the Ducks retreat. Hamhuis takes his time as Vancouver changes up front. Hansen just off the bench. Can't take the pass. Spiza back to it. Lapierre bumps him in the corner. Hansen gets the puck free. Knocked away from him and cleared. Keith Ballard controls. Bumped at the line. Now a 2-on-1, maybe a 3-on-1. Another chance for the youngster Raquel over the line. Passes for Bolesky's kicked away. Tanev takes control. A good 4th line opportunity again for the Ducks.
Boy, the Canucks making a lot of poor decisions. That was a 6th odd man rush by the Ducks in this 3rd period alone. I understand you're playing desperate hockey, but wow.
Desperation, the operative word. It's physical, but it's not close. It's time now for Hockey Night Close-Up, brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Tonight's close-up is Daniel Winnick of the Anaheim Ducks.
Maybe the best forward on the Ducks tonight when you consider his body of work. There's that great deflection in front. First period, and then a great shot block, which led to this goal, the 2nd of the night. Winnick with 3 shots on goal. I think some people might be surprised, Rick, that he's leading the Ducks forwards in action after 2 periods with 13:31. Only Getzlaf trailing him at 12:49 in ice time.
Just the 2nd 2-goal game of his career. The last one came on Valentine's Day 2009 when he was playing for Phoenix against Calgary. Never had a hat trick before. He's been good tonight. So is his center, Koivu. I think he's our next one. Past the 8-minute mark of the third. Canucks led 2-1 in the first period, but 5 straight by Anaheim. And this one has gotten out of reach. Have not seen much of the Sedin line so far in the third period. That was a short shift for them again.
Yeah, I'd wait for it tomorrow as well.
Penalty coming up to Solani, his second penalty of the game as he takes down Weiss at the blue line. So the Canucks get a power play, see if they can generate something here with 11:22 to go.
I think this is important, this power play. You're probably not going to come back and win this game, but just get some rhythm going on the power play. It's going to be such a big part of your team and your season in a shortened season like this, and I think that what they need to do is really focus on what they're trying to accomplish out there. Don't be too creative. I'm sure they have a plan in mind and get the pucks back to the net or to the point and go to the net.
1 for 3 on the power play tonight. 9 shots on those 3 chances. 4th opportunity, and here's Edler at the line. Daniel Sedin down to Henrik. Hansen's out front. Henrik back to Daniel. Edler at the line. Long shot, hit traffic. May have gone off Hansen. The Ducks able to clear the zone.
I like that play. Just get it to the point and fire it there and see if you can't get a lucky deflection.
Garrison has to retreat. Finds Daniel at the line. Drop pass to Edler. Ahead on the right side to Henrik Sedin. He'll work it in. Daniel slot. Pass didn't get through. Broken up by Lubin. Henrik gets it back behind the net. Hit the back of the net with his pass. Puck comes to the line. Good work by Garrison to keep it onside. Now to Hansen. Back to Garrison. Henrik. Daniel. Henrik and Hansen. Daniel out front. There's a shot from the line. The score! Edler able to put it off the bar and in.
Well, Corey Perry's upset. I think he feels that he was interfered with, but I have to tell you that this is a very simple and effective way to get back and get some rhythm back into your game, get some confidence with your power play. As I said, use your point men. They're smart guys. They know when there's traffic in front. This case, the Canucks like to work it down low and then go up high, which has always been an effective play for them. You can see Hiller's not the best I've ever seen it fighting through traffic. Garrison, power play specialist, keeps the puck in and keeps the puck alive. He goes to the front of the net, which we've seen a couple of times already this evening. He's going to be a good addition, hopefully later on in the power play that struggled the last half of last season.
2 goals tonight, 2 of the 3, in fact. Canucks cut the lead to 3 as we approach the midway mark of the third period. You made a good point before that power play, Kelly. Here's a chance for Solani. We'll get to that. He scores! Teemu Solani gets his second of the game. And the Ducks answer right back and restore a 4-goal lead.
That's what speed does to you. It backs defensemen up. This play right here, everybody's afraid. Every defenseman's afraid of being made to look silly with the speed of Solani, and just a quick pass right here. See Solani just rifles that behind Luongo. I must say that for the longest time was one of the deadliest spots to get a shot on a goaltender, just above the pad. This one, to me, it looks as though it is deflected, though, off the stick of Hamhuis. Give Luongo even more problems.
Second of the game for Solani. Cogliano and Surrey get the helpers.
He hasn't slowed down much, has he?
Bruce Boudreau said yesterday that he may be the best 42 athlete in the world, any sport.
I agree, and I know that I heard Bruce talking about that he might be in better condition than he's ever been in his life. And one of the reasons why they love having him around is that hopefully the young kids recognize the preparation he puts into putting himself on the ice.
Teemu Solani will be joining us on After Hours tonight. Icing called against Anaheim, and the Sedins are out there. Against the Koivu line, there's a shot that's stopped by Hiller. Daniel pulls the trigger. Hiller able to cover up for a faceoff. 9:46 to go here in the third.
A reminder to stay with us following the game for After Hours. Our guest will be Teemu Selanne, the ageless wonder, 42 years old, playing like he's 22, 4 points tonight. And Alain Vigneault will join us as well. The Canucks coach, like everyone else, had no idea what to expect in this truncated season. He surely was not expecting this. Only once last season did the Canucks give up 6, a 6-5 loss to Nashville on December the 1st. Tonight, they'll need 8 to win. Rick.
Thank you, Scott. Last time the Canucks gave up 7 goals was November 20th of 2010 against Chicago.
Yeah, season is pretty good for them too, right?
Yeah.
So let's not get carried away.
Well, we talked about this kind of being like a preseason game almost with the training camp and no exhibition games. It's kind of looked like one from a Vancouver perspective. Ducks look great, though.
They do, don't they?
They've had a solid night.
I'm a little bit surprised, though, by how fragile Vancouver has stayed in this. I thought they'd just be a hard-working team in this third and try and, like a workman-like game, and get themselves out of this funk. But, boy, strange to watch them be fragile.
Here's Ballard. There's a tip pass to Hansen with a shot. That didn't get through. Ludman blocked it with his skate. Ballard's shot goes wide. Higgins picks it up far side. He's knocked down by Ludman, is able to clear the zone on a nice play.
He's quietly had a great game, hasn't he, Ludman? I'm a big fan of his. You know who I think, Spiza, if he watches him, he'll turn out to be a great defenseman.
Spiza's had a pretty good game. He's been very physical.
Solid on his skates.
Icing called on Anaheim.
Well,
speaking of good games, how about this guy?
Yeah, I think the crowd favorite for the Ducks anyways is Selanne, and for good reason. He's been such a dynamic and fun player to watch. Those first
Played
2
back to
strides,
post
that
with
is
the
just
shot.
crazy. How he eludes traffic, and then the strength on the face-off right there, back to Surrey. And this is the one I like, presenting his target right there with his stick, allowing Getzlaf an easy pass, and right here we've seen that, 600 and some times, that one right there?
Well, it's to be yeah, 665 goals in his career.
Tying Jaromir Jagr now, isn't it?
For 11th
active
place.
players.
And he's tied in terms of active players.
Yeah.
11th all time. But he pops it up here to Volpatti. Plays it out front. That deflects behind Dale Weiss. And the puck is cleared. Dan Andrews. It was his goal that tied the game early in the first, and then Daniel Sedin's that gave the Canucks the lead. That was at the 11:23 mark of the first period, but it's been all Anaheim since. Bieksa works it in, passes it out front off the pad of Hiller, and Cassian's shot goes wide. He gets it behind the net. Back to the line. Garrison slap shot, put it wide. Look glove side. That shot goes off the shaft of the stick of Hiller, winds up in the corner. Controlled there by Palmieri. Up to Getzlaf to Perry. Corey Perry works it in. Palmieri joins him. Perry backhand cuts out front. Stopped by Luongo, and he's able to cover up and hang on.
One of the things that you love about Kevin Bieksa is he's not going to take losing very kindly. He creates this opportunity going wide, throwing the puck in front, and Cassian has a great chance right there. Just shoots it wide, and then Corey Perry using his speed to go around Mason Raymond, who is playing defense for Bieksa, that is trying to create that offensive opportunity. Luongo really strong on that one to cover the puck.
Bolesky with the puck, watched by Edler. Garrison plays the puck up the boards, but Raquel able to work it free. Smith-Pelly in the corner. Bumped by Garrison. He winds up with it. Jason Garrison can't get it out. Bolesky able to take it back. Smith-Pelly, Bolesky out front. There's the pass. Raquel with a shot. Blocked by Luongo with the blocker. Raquel's had some chances here in the third period.
This line's been good. Really good.
Higgins backhands it deep. Brian Allen to it.
What composure, eh? Raquel? What composure.
19 years old. I don't think he expected to be around to start the year. But he's been good.
Molson Canadian celebrates the return to the game this land gave us.
Raquel on the faceoff. Henrik Sedin wins the draw. Daniel plays the puck out front into traffic, and that's stopped by Hiller, and he's able to hang on. And as good as Rickard Raquel has been tonight, Kelly, that's the scenario you don't want. The Sedin line out there against the 19-year-old.
Well, it must be awfully intimidating playing against one of your idols growing up in Sweden. You're facing off against Henrik, and this has just got to be a thrill for him to be on the ice with him.
Fourth line on the bench for Anaheim. Koivu wins the faceoff this time for the Ducks, and Boschman's able to clear as we approach the 14-minute mark of the third. No rest for Vancouver. They host Edmonton tomorrow, and all the questions after this one will be who's in goal.
You know, that's going to be a good one for them tomorrow because they have to forget about this quickly. They can't linger about self-doubt and those sorts of things playing against a great Edmonton team.
Here's Winnick in the corner. Topped it up behind the net to Ballard. To Daniel. To Henrik. To Burrows. Backhands it deep. End of a shift. Heads off. Henrik, lone forechecker. That allows the Ducks time to move it up. Boschman lead pass through center. Carried over the line. Bonino to the slot. That's intercepted by Volpatti. He's got Bieksa behind coverage. Volpatti carries though. Bieksa retreats. Volpatti dumps it in. Malhotra after it. Checked in the corner. Solani takes it away. He has 4 points tonight, but gives it away to Weiss. Dale Weiss down the boards. Works it behind the net to the near side. Solani's all over the scoreboard. He's had 2 penalties, too. He's everywhere on the score sheet tonight. There's a shot from the line. Doesn't get through off a stick. Intercepted by Spiza. Ryan's stick is broken, so Spiza plays it ahead. Onto the tape. Nick Bonino carries in. Popped it up in the slot. Canucks are able to clear it.
I don't think Rick will bring up the penalties in after hours. How's that sound? Let's just stick to the points.
4.5 left in the third. Canucks and Ducks will see each other again later. Actually, late next week. They'll play in Anaheim on Friday. 2nd of 3 meetings. And the only game in Anaheim. There's a chance for Edler to shoot. Doesn't. Over to Garrison instead. Finds Ebbett. Andrew Ebbett to Cassian. Jams it out front. The puck goes through the crease out the other side. Getzlaf lost it, but Hiller's right there to cover up and hang on. Inside 4 minutes to go. It's all Anaheim in Vancouver.
Look at the body of work by Jason Garrison. Big signing by the Canucks this summer. I think overall, the score wouldn't indicate that he's had a good game for the most part for everybody, but I think this is a good opening night for him. Sure, a lot of jitters. He's got a lot of family and friends here, which is never easy to deal with when you're coming home. So right now, I think he's done a pretty good job of trying to contain himself and not be overwhelmed too much with the enormity of coming home.
19 minutes ice time, 3 shots, -1 for Jason Garrison. First game as a Vancouver Canuck, and you mentioned coming home. He's from White Rock, which is a suburb about 40 minutes south of Vancouver.
I think it'd be awfully nerve-wracking having the first game coming back home and under these circumstances.
He's thrilled, obviously. Signed here as a free agent to play in Vancouver. And I know there are some players who, that'd be the last thing they want to do is play in their hometown. But
one sitting right beside you.
Cogliano with a shot. That ricochets high and wide. Have to change your phone number every week. People asking for tickets.
I know, honestly. There'd be so many benefits, but there'd be so many disadvantages as well. I like when my family came to visit instead.
Here's Lapierre working the puck in with a shot. That whistles wide. Raquel over to it. Checked by Higgins. Ducks get it back, and they'll clear. Spiza races up to it. Carries through center. Smith-Pelly with him. Spiza takes his time. Now he'll shoot. Luongo able to swallow that up for a faceoff. Tuesday night, Rick celebrates Ukrainian New Year and goes ice fishing on an all-new Rick Mercer report. Then an all-new episode of Cracked. It all starts Tuesday at 8 on CBC TV.
Well, what a decision Alain Vigneault has for tomorrow night, doesn't he? But there has to be a master plan that if it goes south for Schneider today, that you just don't react suddenly and then change everything. I personally think if you made the decision that Schneider's your guy, I in all likelihood would go back with him tomorrow.
It'd be absurd to come to any conclusions after this game tonight. Corey Schneider had the 3rd best goals against average and 2nd best save percentage in the league last year. And he played in 33 games, which is a big sample size.
And some tough games. It's not as though he was only playing against weaker opponents. He had some really tough games.
But it was not a good night for him tonight. He was pulled after 5 goals on 14 shots. A couple minutes left in the third. 7-3 Anaheim. And as we've mentioned, Alain Vigneault will be joining you and Scott on After Hours. Palmieri over the line with a shot, steered away by Luongo. Raymond able to work it out. He's checked. Kyle Palmieri plays it in. Luongo will leave it behind the net for Dan Amuse. Andrew Ebbett back to it. Had his pocket pick, but the puck slides out the center ice. Here's Lapierre, left wing through center, carries in, working on Spiza, trying to cut out front. Forced behind the net. Smith-Pelly couldn't get the puck. Hansen does. Garrison, one-timer. Adler put it wide. Garrison able to keep it in. Around the boards, Adler pinches. Lapierre over to help out. Raquel gets control but gives it away as we get the final minute of the third. Yannick Hansen, Garrison shot. That goes off a skate wide. Sheldon Surrey off the boards, gets the puck down the ice. Ducks tired. This will be icing on Anaheim. 44 seconds to go.
Well, it hasn't been an easy night for Bobby Ryan. First we showed the shot where he was off the ankle from Kevin Bieksa. Now he's going to take a shot at Weiss right here and go into the boards awkwardly. I can tell you that's probably not a very good feeling right there, and he is pretty banged up on the bench for a few minutes.
Off the draw, the Canucks try a shot. That was Weiss, and the puck goes out of play, and the Ducks can make a change. 41 seconds to go here in regulation time. So Bobby Ryan on a night where the Ducks score 7 doesn't show up on the score sheet. And that's rare, as we mentioned. 4 straight 30-plus goal seasons for number 9.
Isn't that a good thing when your team can score 7 and he's not on the score sheet?
Well, all the new guys get the goals. Winnick has 2.
Team plays with a lot of speed, a lot of confidence with the puck, at least after one game, so it could be dangerous.
Sheldon Surrey in his first game with the Ducks gets a goal on the power play. 25 seconds to go. Ballard thought about going after it, doesn't. He retreats, and that allows Koivu time to bring it out. He's got Cogliano with him. Cogliano goes for the goal. Koivu plays it back to the line. Hendry, he'll get a shot away through traffic. That goes just wide. Tanev behind the net, battles. Puck goes to the corner. Cogliano able to get control late in the third as time ticks down. And the Canucks will have to lick their wounds quickly because the Oilers are in town tomorrow. And they'll look for a much better effort tomorrow night after a 7-3 loss here to the Ducks.
Terrific game by the Ducks, though. You know, after a pretty sloppy first period by both teams, they came out the more focused team. They were more hungry, going after loose pucks, and they deserved this, clearly.
So it's all Anaheim. Canucks led in the first, but they wind up dropping a 7-3 decision in the first game of the season to the Anaheim Ducks at Rogers Arena.